with me.
Felicity Jones, welcome to BBC Breakfast. For people who are confused, explain where this fits into the Star Wars story.
Rogue One is part of the Star Wars saga in the sense that it is the film that comes before A New Hope. So it is the opening crawl of A New Hope basically describes the premise of our film.
Would you say episode 3.5 then?
Yes, we have been saying number 3.5 is where we fit in, and we wanted to be very true to those films, to those 70s films, the humour, the playfulness that they had, and we would literally watch them and then think, what can we do to make our film as good as those?
The captain says you are a friend. I will not kill you.
Thanks.
What's your earliest Star Wars memory?
Watching it with my cousins and my brother. And I just remember everyone being very quiet. It was very reverential when the VHS player was on and we started watching A New Hope. And I think my first memory was of Darth Vader. That would be the one. And that you just constantly, whenever you say Star Wars, it's always Darth Vader is the first character that comes to mind.
Save the rebellion! Save the dream!
Who did you want to be when you watched the films?
I have to say Han Solo is probably the one, and in preparation for playing Jin, I watched a lot of Harrison Ford's films, and not just Star Wars, but I watched Indiana Jones. There's such an irreverence that he has and a playfulness that I wanted Jin to have too.
See, it's interesting you've gone for a male character, because this is the first time a female character has got top billing in a Star Wars film. There you are on the poster. How much does that mean to you?
It means a huge amount. I think it's absolutely time that we had female leads and as many females leading films as we do men, and it's a very exciting time to be an actress.
I believe when you have new characters, you often create a scrapbook for them. So what was in the scrapbook for Jyn Erso?
Well, it's a way of, you know, because you have all sorts of ideas and you start preparation months before you start shooting. So it was particularly inspired by Beyonce for playing Jyn. I felt like Beyonce is one of those women who has enormous power, but is also not a diva. She doesn't seem precious. So she was definitely an inspiration for Jyn and went in the scrapbook.
A very physical role, this one. How much training did you have to do?
Everyone in Star Wars is constantly wearing gym gear because you don't think about anything else for the duration of filming. You get up, you go, and I was training. We wanted Jyn to have her fighting to be quite almost like street fighting, so quite scrappy, not too neat and tidy. We wanted to feel when she got hit that you would feel it as the audience. It was about finding something that was believable, that she would have grown up, you know, borrowing little bits from the people that she met along the way in the galaxy and forming her own fighting style.
You're rebels, aren't you?
You know a bit about devoted fans in the past, having been in the Archers. Any similarities between Archers fans and Star Wars fans from your experience so far?
I don't think nothing beats an Archers fan for their level of devotion. Nothing.
Wait a minute, you're saying Archers fans more hardcore than Star Wars?
Absolutely.
Explain.
In my experience. I think because it is a radio and you obviously, you conjure up an image of the character is so powerful that people, it's actually almost the opposite. People are so disappointed when they actually see you because they've had this idea of the character in their head for so many years. And
now for the rest of your career, you will always have been in a Star Wars film. How does that feel?
It's very cool. It's very cool. Yeah, I mean, it's just been one of those experiences where you kind of think it's from going onto set and working with giant talking fish and polar bears and then getting to meet Darth Vader has been a pretty cool experience. And do you find yourself dropping "May the Force be with you" into conversation now? No, because you have to be very careful when you say it, and you have to absolutely believe it. You know, it's a bit like saying, it's like one of those iconic lines like "to be or not to be." I feel like, you know, you've got to be quite, that line's quite sacrosanct in the Star Wars universe, so you've got to be careful when you say it. I will not finish by saying it then. Thank you very much for speaking to us. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, it was a great chat, that wasn't it? Yeah.
Will you do the proper
voiceover for Rogue One.
Yeah.
What shall I do?
We had a bit of a Star Trek wobble there as well on the camera.
Did we?
I know it's not Star Trek, Star Wars. I'm not getting involved there.
Rogue One, it's called A Star Wars Story, opens in cinemas from midnight, and you're considering going?
Yeah, I might go dressed up as Greedo.